When Tony Beets left the Netherlands as a teenager, few could have predicted that he would become one of the most iconic gold miners in the world. Today, at 65, Beets is known to millions as the king of the Klondike on Gold Rush, where his booming voice, fearless work ethic, and stubborn commitment to the craft have become the stuff of legend. But now, as Tony begins to talk about retirement, the legacy he's built is stirring emotions that his family never expected. What happens when Tony Beets steps back from the spotlight? This isn't just a story about gold. It's a story about grit, legacy, and the weight of inheritance. Tony's journey began when he made a bold choice at just 18 years old, leaving everything behind in the Netherlands to seek a better life in Canada. With no clear path ahead, he took on any job he could find, milking cows, working construction, doing what it took to survive. But deep down, Tony always had bigger dreams, dreams forged not from comfort but from ambition. Eventually, those dreams led him to the Yukon, a land as harsh as it is rich in opportunity, in the unforgiving wilderness of Dawson City. Tony cut his teeth as a machine operator, learning the trade from the ground up. It wasn't glamorous, and it definitely wasn't easy, but Tony saw something others didn't in the mid-1980s. He made a defining move by purchasing the Paradise. He'll claim an investment that would become the cornerstone of his empire, and unlike many miners who simply extracted from the land, Tony gave something back. He revived long-dead dredges, massive rusting relics from a bygone era, and brought them roaring back to life. Where others saw junk, Tony saw opportunity. Those dredges would help uncover millions in gold. More than just gold, building a legacy. Tony's mining success, and larger-than-a-life personality, caught the attention of Gold Rush producers, and soon the world knew what Yukon Connors already did. This man was unstoppable. But Gold Rush didn't just spotlight Tony, it introduced viewers to the entire Beets family. His wife Minnie became the quiet powerhouse behind the scenes, keeping the books and the family grounded. His children, Kevin, Monica, and Mike, grew up in the mines, absorbing their father's lessons in both life and business. That's where things get complicated for Tony. Mining is a passion for his children. It's a legacy they were born into, but also a shadow that's hard to escape. With every ounce of gold pulled from the ground, the pressure builds. Do they live up to their father's name? Do they walk the same path, or find their own way? A turning point now, as Tony edges toward retirement. He's facing one of the biggest decisions of his life: what happens to the empire he's built, and more importantly, who carries it forward? In a recent interview, Tony admitted he's thought about stepping back. After all, mining is physically demanding, risky, and relentless. But unlike most people his age, Tony doesn't slow down easily. For decades, he's been the driving force behind one of the most successful mining operations in the Klondike. Letting go even a little doesn't come naturally. His family, meanwhile, is left grappling with what that transition truly means. The tears shed aren't just from emotion. They come from the weight of responsibility, the pride of continuing a hard-earned legacy, and the fear of not living up to it. It's easy to count gold by the ounce. It's harder to measure the value of everything Tony Beets has built and the burden of inheriting a fortune. Tony's fortune isn't just financial, it's emotional, it's generational, and it's deeply personal. His empire stands as a monument to decades of relentless effort. But for his children, inheriting that empire comes with immense pressure. They've worked beside him for years, learning the ins and outs of the business. But as Tony contemplates handing over the reins, his kids must confront a difficult question: are they ready to lead, or will the weight of his legacy prove too much to bear? The answer isn't simple, and that's exactly why the Beets family, known for their grit, find themselves at a crossroads filled with emotion, uncertainty, and yes, even tears. The next chapter, as Gold Rush continues, fans are watching closely, not just for the next big gold haul, but to witness a family navigating change, legacy, and love. In the most rugged corners of the earth, the Beets name may be etched into the Yukon's mining history, but its future is still being written, and Tony, whether he stays or steps back, his impact is already eternal. He didn't just mine gold, he unearthed a dynasty. One thing finally hangs up his hard hat. It won't be with silence, it'll be with the sound of legacy echoing across the Klondike, and a family strong enough to carry it forward tears. And all for over a decade, Tony Beats has been a towering figure on Gold Rush, not just for his booming voice and bold decisions, but for turning a mining operation into a family-run empire. Alongside his wife, Minnie, Tony has built more than a fortune. He's built a legacy, and now the focus is shifting to the next generation, Kevin, Monica, and Mike Beats. Each of the Beats children has carved out a place within the family business they've grown up in, the gritty world of Yukon mining, learning from one of the most successful miners in the Klondike. Over the years, they've moved from supporting roles to critical members of the operation. Yet, as Tony and Minnie begin to acknowledge the reality of the future, even if they don't plan to retire, one question hangs in the air. Will the Beats kids carry on the legacy or forge paths of their own? A family with options. What makes the Beats family dynamic unique is the freedom Tony and Minnie offer their children. Despite the enormous success of their mining operation, they've made it clear that Kevin, Monica, and Mike are under no obligation to stay in the business. What matters most to them is that their kids find happiness, whether that's in the mining world or elsewhere. It's a rare sentiment in an industry where family operations often expect the next generation to fall in line. But for the Beats, autonomy is part of the inheritance. Tony and Minnie understand that true legacy isn't about pressure, it's about choice, rising through the ranks while the decision to stay or go ultimately lies with them. The Beats kids have already proven their capabilities. Kevin, once an apprentice under Tony's watchful eye, has steadily evolved into a key leader in the operation. He's taken on more responsibility with each passing season, making critical decisions and tackling tough mechanical challenges with unrelenting focus. His growth hasn't gone unnoticed, not just by his parents, but by Gold Rush viewers who've watched him. Rise Monica, the youngest, has long been seen as the bridge between her brothers. More than just a peacekeeper, she brings a fresh perspective to the operation. She's independent, thoughtful, and willing to challenge the status quo in an industry that can be slow to change. Monica's forward-thinking mindset could be essential for navigating the future. Mike, the quietest of the three, has been steadily building his role. While he may not seek the spotlight, his reliability and expertise on heavy equipment have made him indispensable, like his siblings. Mike works under the weight of high expectations, those of his family and a global TV audience. The weight of legacy mining in the Klondike is no easy life. It demands hard work, tough skin, and a willingness to bet everything on each season. But for the Beats children, the stakes are even higher. They're not only managing heavy machinery in harsh conditions, they're doing it all in front of cameras. Living up to a legacy like Tony Beats's is difficult enough. Doing it while being filmed adds pressure that most miners will never understand. Every decision is public, every disagreement has the potential to become a storyline for Kevin, Monica, and Mike. The job isn't just physical, it's emotional. Still, there's no denying the connection they have to the land, the work, and each other. Years of experience have forged a tight-knit team, and even with the challenges that come with fame and expectation, the Beats kids have shown that they can carry the load. Looking ahead, the future of the Beats mining empire is unwritten. While Tony and Minnie remain active and involved, time marches on. Eventually, the next generation will have to make a choice: continue the legacy or step away and start anew. Whatever they decide, it's clear they have the support and respect of their parents. Kevin, Monica, and Mike have earned their place not just by birthright, but by proving themselves in one of the toughest industries on Earth. And if they do choose to carry the torch, they'll do so not as replacements for Tony Beats, but as their own version of what it means to be a leader in the gold fields. Whether that means transforming the business, modernizing it, or simply keeping it going in their own way, They have the skills, experience, and family bond to succeed. One thing is certain, the Beats name will always carry weight in the Yukon, and the next chapter of this legendary family is just beginning.